For this week's trick, the ambitious card routine, where somebody selects a card and they can write their name right on it, and then you can pick a card, pick a spot out of the deck to place the card in. They can see their card and everything, and it's just going to go into the middle. So this is what I like to call the elevator trick, because the card's going into the middle, and just like an elevator, if we push the button on top of the deck, then in that instant the card will jump to the top. We'll try it again though. We'll take the card, and this time we're going to ask the spectator to push it into the deck, which they can do. They can press the button on the top, and even they can take the card. The card comes back to the top, just like an elevator. We can try it again, but this time we're going to put in the card face up. This way, this will add a little bit to the trick, so this way you can see it happen. See it jump to the top like that? So that was pretty good. But what we're going to do is we need to mark the card in some way. Now this card, of course, could be signed, but it looks a lot like all the other cards in the deck. So when it comes to the top, it's hard for us to see it come. So what I'm going to do is put a bend into the card like this. There we go, good strong bend. So now we can see that this card is unique. We can see it from the top because of that bend in it, and we can see it, for when we put it into the middle. See the bend in the card? In it goes, and with just a snap of the fingers, the card will come to the top, just as bent as when we left it, and the card could be signed, and that's the trick. So for this trick, what we need to do is have a card selected, and they can sign it. And this trick all relies on double lifts. So one thing you can do is, if you want, while they're signing the card, if you're going to sign it, you can just take the top two cards and turn them over. You can turn them right face up on top. And then you can just do a wrist kill so that it's showing the bottom. Then when they've signed their card, you get it back. Just say this is your signed card. You place it on top and flip the deck. Okay, so now you have two cards above it. So that's one variation, and that will get you set up for the first double, where you pick up all three as one, flip it over, and put just the top one, the random card, in, and not their selected 7. So another version is somebody has a card selected. This is the one I usually do. And you pick a spot in the deck, you lift it up, take their card just here, and you're going to push it forward. Two ways you can do this. You can either thumb down 1, 2, or yeah, like 1, 2, like that, and drop those on top of this card. You just need to separate a couple under the card. Or you can spread through the cards, showing their card, and just feel 1, 2 with your fingers underneath, and get a little pinky break there if you want. And then when you square up the deck, get a pinky break above 2 cards above the selection. After you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to flip this packet, but you don't want to flash the cards on top like this. So this is not very good because you flash those cards. That's a little better. So real fast turn to show their selection, and then you're just going to push it in, and you're actually pushing it under those cards, but it looks like this. So they think this is their card. Their card's actually 3 down. We then can take that, stick it somewhere into the middle, and stick that into this middle. So and you can do a fan, or you could just stick it into the middle of one packet and then into the middle of the other, or just stick it on the bottom, whatever you want. But you need to have your selected card end on top, one from the top. Now what you're going to do is another double lift. The one I was using is called the Windmill Double. I came to it on my own. I'm sure somebody's invented it before, but that's what I call it. What you're going to do is take the pack, Mechanics Grip. You're going to thumb down 1, 2 cards, 2 cards there. Then what you're going to do is take your strong hand. You're going to lift up and push back just the slightest bit onto your thumb. Okay, so you only have a little break here. And you're going to grab it with your middle finger and then pick up with your thumb in the back. So now you have 2 cards here in the position of 1. And you're just going to be holding them by those 2 fingers. So what you're going to do next, take your index finger, rotate this pack around 360 degrees. So the way that looks is like this. Keep a little bend so the cards stick together. If you're a little looser with the cards, sometimes they'll separate like that, whereas if you bend them, they'll stay together better. Spin it this way and stick your index finger all the way under. Then what you're going to do is spin it back and get to this position. Now this point, your index finger is all stretched out. and you probably can't go much further. So what you're going to do is just take your thumb, tap it once to get it past that tough spot, and then after your thumb is tapped, you can push it with your index finger the rest of the way, curl it, and drop it onto the deck. When it's done quickly, it looks like that. Okay? One more time. Deck is squared. 1, 2. Pick up. I also use my ring finger a little bit to get that started sometimes, or for control. So 360, spin it back, touch with your thumb, and then pick up again with your index finger, put it, and then you're using the deck to put that card into position and drop it on top. And you can drop it square or a little forward so you can get it easier the next time, because if the card's a little forward, it's really easy to go into this double. And so after you've showed that their cards come to the top, you can do it again. And this time, just don't go the extra length. Just go 360 all the way around, and it'll reset it so it's back to face down. Now they think this is their card. It's actually a random card. You may like that double, you may not. Some people think it looks better to do a standard double like this, which looks more like how you'd actually turn over a card. But I use the windmill a lot because it's so hard to catch. When you're doing something quickly like this, it's very hard to catch the double lift, and the setup only takes a couple of like that. So here's squared, and now the double's in my hand because I cover up that snapping with my middle finger. Anyway, so you've moved the 7, the selection card, to the top twice. So what you're going to do is, if you know how to do a pass, you can throw that in here. Take the card, and it goes. And you can either make it go straight to the top, like that, or you can stick it in and thumb off one card, so it has one card above it. Get a break under there, do the pass. Okay, you're going to see my Herman pass video. And over there, and then you can just go into a Cardini change. So that's one way to do that. So that way it's a little more like, and you can go about pressing that button and stuff like that, whatever you want. But usually I do one face up, and then you can throw in one just like the opener. Okay, counting down 1, 2, showing the card, pushing it in, putting it in a different card, pushing it in squared into the other half. So now you have both on top. And then what you just need to do is get into a double position. Another way to get into a double is to take the 7 and turn it over. As you might have caught me catch a little pinky break under the first card. And then you can do a move that's usually done to get rid of a double at the end of a trick. You can do it like that, which will turn over the card, and then you can set the card back. So you do like this, slide that off, do risk kill, and then put it back, and that gets you in a double. So that's another way to do that. So this is a single, get a pinky break, slide that card off like that in the act of showing the card, and then set it back, and you're in a double. Then all you need to do is, I usually don't put a very deep bend in it, just go about an inch, and if I hear the words tearing or ripping cards, the hair stands up on the back of my neck because I hate anything like that. But these, if you just do it about that much, they will bend back, your card's fine, and that way it'll be easier at the end of the trick, because right now you have a double selected and a random card above it. Stick both of these on top, and then slide that in there. Set the other part on top. You really should make sure to show that this is in the middle and that this is coming down on top of it. But make sure you don't do it too much like this, or you might flash. Set this on top. Square it up, because you have a bent card in the middle and a bent card on top. And what you're going to do is put your index finger there for starters, and then you're just going to grab the top barely with your thumb there. Okay? Then you're going to wait, and what's cool is you can either have them press the button or you can have them snap their fingers, and all you need to do is just time it with releasing that card, and it will pop right up. So holding it just there, and it'll pop right up, and that's called the bump move, and that will really throws people off if they don't get the whole double lift concept. And then turn the card back over, and I suggest doing a dribble if you can, because you want to bend all the cards back a little bit to try to fix that one card in the middle. Or maybe doing a riffle shuffle like this. One more time through the whole trick. Cards selected. Okay, 6 of clubs. It's in the middle. Get a break, 2 above. Turn it over. Push in. Push the 6 in the middle of that half and into the middle of that half. Snap your fingers. Take 2 from the top. 6 is on top. Stick a different card in the middle. This time you should have the spectator push it in and press the top and take the card. Their card's back on the top. A slight variation if you want to. 6 is back on the top. Get a double by either doing the initial move again, or you can do this way. Get a good bend in the card. This is a double now. Put a random card into the middle, slap it on top, and then time a snap, and that bump move will send that card right off the top. And that is a really great trick. It's great because it's a simple concept. Make up some patter about an elevator and stuff like that. But that's the ambitious card routine. Thanks for watching.